The launch of the SWOT satellite is currently planned for the beginning of December. Therefore, in mid-October, it was about time for the satellite to reach the launch site. On October 16th, a C-5 Galaxy transport aircraft belonging to the US Air Force landed on the runway of Vandenberg Air Force Base. In the dark of the night, a valuable shipment arrived at this spaceport in California. A transport container hiding the SWOT satellite. In most cases, we don't have the opportunity to see under the hands of the workers. This time, however, NASA filmed a lot of footage that shows us what is involved in transporting a shipping container with a satellite. As you can see, it's not easy. The shipping container made its way from the airport down the road to the clean room at the spaceport. It is there that the satellite will go through the final pre-launch preparations. If there are no complications, the SWOT satellite should launch on December 5th on a Falcon 9 rocket. SWOT will weigh 2 tons at launch and is a joint project of the American and French space agencies. The Canadian and British space agencies are also involved in the project. The SWOT satellite will orbit the Earth at an altitude of approximately 850 kilometers. Its path will be inclined by 77.6 degrees relative to the equator. This will give it a view of most of the Earth's surface, except the polar regions. Due to its purpose, however, the satellite is not interested in the surroundings of the poles. The SWOT satellite will conduct the first global exploration of surface waters. Engineers expect to gain information about the fine details of the ocean topography from this mission. The satellite should also measure how the level of inland water bodies changes over time. As for the oceans, they will discover valuable details about the flow of water. SWOT is primarily equipped with a scientific instrument, the Carine Radar Interferometer. It has 2 distinctive antennas at the ends of 10-meter beam. The device will send pulses to the Earth, which will bounce off the surface and will be picked up by the antennas. At any time, it will cover a strip 120 kilometers wide. During repeated overflights, it will then be possible to monitor what has changed since the last overflight. Thanks to the so-called interferometry, it will be possible to observe even tiny differences. The SLS rocket returned to the launch pad after more than a month in the VAB assembly hall. The rocket was hidden in the assembly hall away from the approaching hurricane in the end of September. The technicians took advantage of this and at the same time carried out, for example, recharging of the batteries. The launch of the Artemis 1 mission is currently planned for November 14th. On November 5th, the Long March 3B rocket took off from the Sichuan Cosmodrome. The ChinaSat-19 communication satellite was delivered to the geostationary transfer orbit. It should replace the ChinaSat-18 satellite, which did not reach the correct orbit after launch in 2019. Thank you for watching Spaceflight News. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss an episode.